take this conversation forward. Nikhil Pahwa from MediaNama and Sanjay Kapoor, industry expert and the former CEO of Bharti Airtel. Nikhil, coming to you first. What do you think will be the immediate impact of the Jio launch?
Well, I think Indians being traditionally a little conservative are probably going to take Jio as their second SIM, but expect a mad rush outside all stores for buying Jio SIMs. 3 months of free data is a spectacular offer, and I think other telecom operators should have done it when they launched their 3G services. In fact, the idea is that get people to to come onto the service, to try and use the internet, experience it in all its glory, and then decide to pay for it or not. And let's not forget that this has been done in the past. My first SIM card was an Airtel SIM card where I had 1 month of free SMS, and I used it a lot. After that, even though I had to pay for it, I used it a little less, but I kept using it because I'd seen how valuable it was for me. I'm expecting the same thing to happen with data.
Well, we are expecting that to happen with data as well. But Sanjay, coming to you first, how significant a shift is this going to be for the telecom sector, and what is this going to mean for incumbents, former company Bharti Airtel, for you, for instance?
Nobody anticipated an incremental announcement by Jio. Everybody knew that the announcement that they will make will be substantial. First and foremost, it is the beginning of bucketized plans in India, like the Western world. And they keep increasing, the bucket size increases with the quantum of freebies and data that you consume. The second thing that has happened is that there has been an announcement on voice being free for life. If it means that there'll be deduction of data, then voice is not truly free. Instead of paying for voice, I'm paying for data. But if it's completely free, which is outside the deduction of data and the quantum of data that I deduct, then it's a bigger problem for the industry, because there are 75% revenues to 80% revenues of every incumbent operator that comes from voice. And to tackle this menace without, disturbing your existing revenues is going to be a big problem.
All right, that's what you expect as far as the ecosystem is concerned. But Nikhil, how difficult will it be for incumbents, particularly on the voice side? Because that was today's big surprise, as Sanjay was pointing out.
Well, I think if you take a parallel from e-commerce in India, Indian consumers are going to take all the discounts they can get. And once it becomes paid, they will choose the best possible service. So this free data, free voice, fantastic. I'll take it. And if someone comes up with a better offer, I'll switch to that. I don't think there's any such thing as loyalty in the Indian market. We saw it with the multi-SIM usage, where people were taking one plan from one operator, another plan from another operator, and combining the best of both worlds. So they would make STD calls with one, and they would make regular phone calls with another for the cheapest combination. So Indian consumers are smart. They want the best bang for their buck, and I think they'll do the same here. Multi-SIM usage is the way to go.
Okay,
at least,
Sanjay, coming to you now. Bundling in a voice was a complete surprise today, as we've been talking. Some of the analysts are talking about a huge hit on margins for incumbents, because voice accounts for almost 70% of the overall revenues for telecom operators. How will the incumbents rejig their model now to take on this threat from Reliance Jio on voice specifically?
If that assumption is to be taken into account, then the first change that is going to hit the market is, that means that there's an end of calling party pays regime. We've all been used to, in voice, that only one leg gets paid for, which is the calling party, and the receiving party pays nothing. But in case of data, both parties pay. The receiving party pays and the calling party pays for the data charges, right? So that's an end of that regime. But suppose I'm an operator, an incumbent operator, and I have to now move to this bucketized plan and have to charge for voice as a part of my data. The biggest hurdle that I see with incumbent operators is they need to make some long-term strategy choices on the technologies that they use. So while Jio has only one 4G LTE technology, the incumbent operators have 2G, 3G, 4G, right? And 2G is nothing but TDM. It is not IP. And if I don't have IP-based technologies, then my ability to convert voice into data is not going to happen. Therefore, I have to take a call whether I close down 2G, or I close down 2G and 3G and move to only 4G, or keep 3G and 4G alive and keep 2G, kill 2G. So those are the sort of choices that operators have to make for long term, because this change cannot happen overnight.
Well, it is going to be interesting times and trying times for the telecom sector. We are going to see a redrawing of the competitive landscape with the launch of Reliance Jio. But Sanjay and Nikhil Pahwa, appreciate you joining us here on CNBC TV 18.